how you wrap up a project means everything. It goes beyond running a successful reveal day. But after you've done the reveal day, how do you wrap up the project? All right. I'm Rebecca Hay, and I've built a successful interior design business by trial and error, podcasts, online courses, and so many freaking books. Over the last decade, I've grown from an insecure student to having false starts to careers, and now I'm finally in the place where I want to be. Throughout my journey, it's been pretty obvious that I'm passionate about business and helping other entrepreneurs do the same. Each week, I'll share tangible takeaways from my own experience and the experiences of other badass women to help you build your confidence and change your business. Hey, it's Rebecca, and you are listening to Resilient by Design. This is a shorty episode. Today, I want to talk about how you wrap up your design projects. Wrapping up a design project is, I think, in some ways undervalued. We tend to get really excited at the beginning, and if you're anything like I used to be, by the end, I was so over it. Like, get me away from these people. Get me off their property. Like, I don't ever want to talk to this contractor again. I'm exhausted. I don't care that there's a paint chip. Like, get me out of here. I don't know. Maybe you guys can relate, but how you wrap up a project means everything. And before I get too far into this, I just want to remind you, I've already recorded a couple episodes that are really specific to this. So if you are interested in how to run a post-project review, that's something that I do once the project is completely wrapped up, and how I do that with my team. We look at what the pros and cons and how the project went. I go into detail about that post-project review. Some people call it a post-mortem. I think that's morbid, so we just call it a post-project review. That's episode 144 of this podcast. So go to episode 144 if you want to hear about that. But what I want to talk about today is the wrapping it up with the client. It goes beyond running a successful reveal day. I've talked about that here on this podcast, and I love doing a reveal day. It's something that I teach inside Power of Process. I think it's really impactful, and it was a really game-changing for my happiness level. I'll be honest, in my business, it definitely helped with my clients, but definitely made everything more fun for me. And I talk about that in depth in episode 166. So definitely go listen to that episode. So 144, 166, easy to remember. When you've done this one, head on over to those two. But after you've done the reveal day, how do you wrap up the project? So I just want to share with you 3 things that we do that you can implement in your business. So first of all, we always photograph the project, unless it's like not photo worthy, which, by the way, lots of projects are not photo worthy. There's lots of projects I've done that you guys have never seen, but the clients were happy and we generated good revenue. So I like to, most of the time, organize a photo shoot day. And I do pre-organize that. So ideally, it's the day after the reveal day. And I have a YouTube video actually where I talk about how to organize and run a photo shoot day. So you guys can go check that out on my YouTube channel. It's just Rebecca Hay. But I do a photo shoot. I think that's really important because everything is styled to perfection on reveal day. You've got everything in the space. Maybe not everything's perfect, but you can always fudge a few extra things in post-production if you need to. And then you're out of the client's house. The big challenge for me in the early days is I wouldn't come back to do a photo shoot until months later. And by then the clients have kind of settled in. They've got their tchotchkes everywhere. Maybe things are getting damaged already or dirty. And you end up having to clean. I remember doing a kitchen. It was like a month or 2 after. Oh my goodness, this family with young kids was just so messy. I remember being on my hands and knees with Windex, cleaning like the windows of the door, getting that special stainless steel cleaner because the fridge was full of fingerprints. It was like so gross. It was so time consuming. That, and then I had to bring in all the accessories. I had to bring in all the props. And then it feels annoying also, like you have to get back into the client's space. They're finally rid of you and here you are again. So I really like organizing that as soon after the reveal as possible. The second thing is we do what's called a deficiencies walkthrough. And a deficiencies walkthrough is our chance to let the client know, hey, don't worry, we've revealed everything. We're not disappearing on you. We will be back to ensure that every little detail is taken care of by whatever trade is applicable. And of course, that is because we offer full service. So that may not be relevant to you. So if this episode's not relevant to you, then skip ahead to the next one. But that is something that we do, and we walk through, and it could be a service you could offer too if you're really good attention to detail. Even if you haven't implemented or project managed the whole thing, you could come back on if you did the design to walk through and tell them, like, you gotta be careful though, because if they've changed the design in your absence, you can't be like, well, I said the wall should be there and you didn't put it there. I mean, that's not a deficiency. You get the idea. And we actually have a system for that. And I share that inside Power of Process, but we have a system for our deficiencies. We have a checklist that we follow, and we follow up with the clients to let them know when everything is done. That's the second thing. And then the third thing that we do to wrap up a project is deal with the money, because nobody wants to be chasing clients for invoices months after the project is wrapped. And so it's really important for us that we collect the balance owing on any of the goods before they're delivered. So that would be furniture, lighting, carpets, you name it. They have to pay the balances on all of that before it is all delivered. And then other part to that is something that helps the client see that we don't surprise them. There's no surprises. We're not like, oops, sorry, the deliveries were like $1,000 more than we thought. And they're like, what? Like, we've cleared our bank accounts. Like, there's more? So we collect a retainer up front, which is for miscellaneous incidentals, we call it. Could be $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, depending on the scope of the project. And we hold on to that money and we use that for all those miscellaneous incidentals, like a little shipping charge here or the day of deliveries or whatever it might be. And that way, at the very end, more often than not, we're actually surprising the clients by returning some money to them. Now, it sucks as the business owner to be like, what? I now have to write a check for $2,000 to my client? But like, that money was never mine. And that is a really nice way to wrap up the end of a project, to say, and we've reconciled your retainer and it looks like there's $1,500 coming back to you. Like, what client doesn't want that? And if you can accurately estimate and bring in more money than you need at the beginning, you will always have that situation. And it's kind of a fun way to end out a project. Of course, you want to do the big gift and all those expected things, but these are the three things that I think actually have made a big difference in fully closing out a project. So doing the photo shoot, managing the deficiencies, having a system for that. And then thirdly would be having a system for the money so that you're collecting all the money up front and there's no surprises at the end of the project. All right, let me know if that was useful. My shorty episode, I think how you end a project is how it's remembered. No matter how excited they are at the beginning, it's how it ends that is going to last. It's going to be the last taste in their mouth. That's what's going to affect them referring you to their friends. That's all, folks. I'll see you soon. The Resilient by Design podcast is produced by Vera Marquez, edited by Abby Circatella, and hosted by yours truly, Rebecca Hay.